Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Nomad Idle, or welcome back to it if you caught my multiple videos on it in the past. It's an idle RPG, not really an adventure RPG, a grinding RPG, where you're an adventurer who is beset by infinite hordes of monsters, which I think is kind of a neat. It's an interesting twist, and is made by the developer of Nomad Survival, which I rather enjoyed. And this kind of feels like if you took Nomad Survival and turned it into into an idle game instead of a bullet heaven. I think that's cool. I'm also playing a special press media version, so it should go by a lot faster. So we'll see how everything goes. Driven by boundless curiosity and armed with valor and steel, a young explorer sets forth on their maiden quest. Peril, however, awaits just beyond the familiar. Once docile creatures turn wild and hostile, what dark secret lies beyond this behavioral transformation? You'll be fighting for your life automatically. However, you can actively participate with left and right click. So yes, I know the framing is currently super scuffed. That's because for whatever reason the full screen button is only available. It's only available in the in-game menu once you actually get started. Okay, so I'm gonna have to check to see how this goes. I could be wrong about this, but according to the developer, the special version gives me considerably more rewards than the non-special version. At least I'm hoping that's the case. So hopefully this will go by a lot faster. What do I want? Health regen, mana regen, movement speed critical. I think for right now, it's either vitality. Oh yeah, we probably want vitality just for the extra survivability. I guess let's just make it so we automatically put stat points in. Huh. Oh, here it is. The reward multiplier. So currently it's at 1. Let's put it up to 100. Now, obviously, this is kind of overkill. Oh, yeah, the one thing that we're still going to have to work for. Oh, no, even killing these guys I think is a little faster. Oh, that's super nice. Because, yeah, we have to cut through X amount of enemies to get to the next stage. However, this, the special press version cuts through it. So I think each enemy is worth like 10 or 20 or something like that. Which massively changes quite a lot of the, it kind of changes, recontextualizes a lot of this game and how it works. Obviously, this is not the most balanced thing, but from like a person who records these games for a living, anytime where I have to just let the game grind itself for a while is usually the point where I kind of lose interest and don't want to put more time into it. I loved the original version of this enough that I was just kind of like, okay, let's just tune in periodically and see what's changed. But yeah, the problem is I've put a bunch of points into vitality, so I can't be hurt, but I also do not do damage, which is dire. Okay, we've got an event, so I should probably look at these things. We're probably going to get wrecked at some point, but that's fine. So new events, better equipped. You stumble upon a small quiet campsite in a forest clearing. Lone tent stands by an unlit campfire. The blood that spatters the earth tells the story of a violent confrontation. The grim scene suggests that whoever was here didn't have time to finish setting the place up before being attacked. Among the crimson-stained foliage lies a damaged sword and a battered leather tunic, relics of a final stand. Reluctantly, you decided it would be best to take these belongings for your own. Grab the items. In this moment, a realization strikes. You've been dispatching numerous foes, always moving on, always leaving behind the spoils of victory. Those materials would be essential for crafting. With the right materials, it would be possible to repair and improve the efficiency of the sword and tunic. With this thought, you put on the leather tunic and grip the sword. It's morbid, but you feel a connection to the anonymous soul who fought here. The weight of the blade is reassuring. However damaged it may be, it will be critical for your survival. With a heavy heart and renewed purpose, you stand tall, ready to face the unknown. A necessary confidence in order to prevail against a land god mad. Enemies now drop materials, and we can also equip stuff. Cool. Into the open. Stage 10 of the Gentlewood. As it turns out, navigating a forest while fighting off rabid squirrels is a daunting task. Eventually, though, you find your way through and emerge from the chaos of the woodland into the tranquility of open plains and rolling hills. In the distance, you spot a quaint farm village nestled among the greenery. Perhaps it would be best to start there. World map has been added. Dreams of power. You feel as though you've reached a level of mastery that very few achieve. It feels invigorating to have pushed yourself to the very edge of your abilities. As you reflect on your journey, a sense of contentment settles within you. As dusk falls, you seek a secure haven to rest for the night. In your dreams, an eerie voice calls to you. Though the words are unfamiliar, the meaning is clear. The voice reveals that it has been watching you, observing your trials and triumphs from the shadows. It continues, warning that you will require greater power to realize your aspirations. Power beyond your current understanding. Power that will elevate you above mere mortals. Power that you desperately need. The voice grows louder and more insistent with every repetition. Power that you desperately need. Power that you desperately need. Power that you desperately need. You awaken, startled and drenched with cold sweat. Though hours have passed, it feels like only seconds have slipped by. You try to dismiss it as a mere nightmare, but an unsettling sensation lingers, as though unseen eyes are still watching your every move. Move on. Okay. So now that we're onto that, we are actually able to do our own thing. So yeah, we can level these up. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to get this material, which might actually not be in this region. Okay, so now I also have stat points that I can invest into. I think I'm probably just going to invest in damage right now. We just want to be able to one-shot most of these suckers. Oh no, we are actually starting to get these resources. So this is also going to give us flat damage and be useful. So visions of the past, faint glow from your collected materials. As you traverse the woodlands, you notice the materials you've been gathering have begun to emit a mystical glow. Seizing a moment of respite, you examine your collection and realize it's the gems you've been collecting that are shimmering with arcane light. Entranced, you shakily reach out and grasp one and are instantly inundated by a torrent of faint memories from a long-lost soul. These faded visions last only for a moment, but it's enough to knock you off your feet. For the most part, you're unable to make sense of what you saw, but a newfound knowledge lingers. You hastily piece together that what you've learned before you forget and have created a magical staff. So you get a cane. So keep investing in the sword. Eventually it's just going to hit, I think, +9. Yeah, once it hits +9, it's done. I don't need to upgrade it any further. Yeah, I really like this. This special press build with the just reward slider. I recognize once again breaks the balance of the game, but for me, it just speeds things along so much more. I actually feel like I can show a decent amount of this video in a single shot, if that makes sense, or a decent amount of this game in a single shot without having to wait forever for everything to, slowly grind upwards. Let's see. Okay, objectives. So we've got cloth caps, 15 in the Gentlewood. Doesn't look like we have any others to complete. I don't know. It's confusing. It's blinking as though it has something, but I don't see an option. So this gets me extra mana regen, defense mana multiplier, and mana regen multiplier. And Crooked Cane we're going to have to wait for. Okay, what is your deal? Oh, we also get the cloth cloak. So maybe it's one of those where I have to close it and get it to pop up again. Unfortunately, I'm going to need a lot of materials to get there, but suffice to say, 100 times as many resources from every kill means we should probably get enough resources kind of fast. Okay, so what's the next one? 2 stat points, stage 30 in the Gentlewood. Neat. And it's not like you have to wait through all of this on subsequent rounds. If I die, I go back to the last, I think it's the last checkpoint, which is like every 10 levels. So the goal here is to get up to, I think it's stage 30, 40. After that point, the region is maxed out and we don't need to worry about it anymore. And then we get like a void version that drops even more stuff, but is also considerably harder. Should be fun. We're already up to 57. This is actually going extremely well. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do at the moment, because we've got a... Yeah, unlocked by completing an event in Area 3 Rat's Nest. So yeah, we don't have any summons, we don't have any active or passive skills, and we can't ascend yet. But it's fine. We're pretty close to clearing all of this. And then we can just move on to the next village and hopefully be able to clear it. I don't think I needed a reset for a while the last time I played this. So we should be able, we should have no trouble getting to the Rat's Nest. So cooldown reduction, projectile speed, or movement critical chance and evasion rate, or just max mana regen. I guess I'm going to go for cooldown reduction. I don't know if this includes my attack speed. No, it does, because it's definitely affected by cooldown. So this way I'll be hacking and slashing that much more often. Alright, max that out. Let's take a look. Dreams of Power 2. Despite your hard-earned strength, you feel as though you've hit an unyielding barrier. The limits of mortal flesh constrain you, your body unable to grow any stronger, faster, or more resilient. The might of your enemies looms ever larger, each battle more grueling than the last. If you continue down this path, defeat feels inevitable. In your frustration, you recall a dream where an otherworldly voice offered you power. The memory haunts you as fatigue weighs heavily upon your spirit. Seeking solace, you find a tranquil spot to lie down and quickly succumb to the pull of sleep. The voice returns in your dreams, speaking its cryptic language, yet every word resonates within you. "I've been waiting for this moment," it says, its tone almost reassuring. It tells you it knew you would be back, and now it's ready to bestow upon you unimaginable power. "Power to shatter your limits, power to become unstoppable," the voice intones. "To grant you a glimpse of this power, I shall increase the cap of all of your stats by 5. But only if you're willing to receive it. Tell me, do you accept?" The words echo in the confines of your dream, the promise of transcendent strength hanging in the air as you consider the path ahead. Cautiously accept. The voice cackles, a sound that reverberates through the very fabric of your dream. "The contract is sealed," it proclaims with a sinister glee. As the words sink in, you feel an ominous presence drawing ever closer, casting an even darker shadow over your soul. "You will break your limits further," the voice continues. "But know this, the first taste of power is free. From now on, it will cost you a great many coins. Until next time." I like it how this is just a tax demon that is here to get rid of inflation. With a jolt, you abruptly awaken. Your heart pounds as you sit up, eyes scanning the dim surroundings. Doubt gnaws at you. You're not certain if you've made the right choice. The sensation of being watched, once a whisper in the back of your mind, now feels like a heavy gaze pressing down on you from all directions. Alright, now we can raise our stat caps if we have the funds for it. Unfortunately, we currently do not. So stat overview and stat cap cost 6,000 per, which is good. I'm just not going to bother with it right now. It doesn't really help me. Ooh, that's expensive. We'll probably wait until the void before I really go for those things. Yeah, we're still leveling like crazy here. Oh. And actually, we're on stage 50. So unless I'm mistaken, stage 50 should... Yep. Okay, cool. So now that we're on stage 50 proper, highest stage cleared, we've mastered the zone. There's nothing else to do here. So we get 5 more stat points, and we get the Gentlewood Void. I don't think there's anything else. And I can max that out. Yeah, otherwise we're just going to be kind of zipping through the map that we've already been in. We're not in the Void right now, right? No. So if I go to the Void, I'm pretty sure I'm going to just die. I haven't exactly invested in too much. No, we can actually still kill these guys. But if you notice, the drop rate is now like 22,000 hide. So this goes considerably faster. Let's see. It's pretty effective. I don't remember what we needed. I'm not actually sure if I can fully beat the Void. No, maybe I can. Maybe just raw stats and certain scaling makes this easier. I guess the one downer on the not having to kill quite as many enemies is my chances of being swarmed and defeated are probably considerably lower than they normally would be. Because normally I'd have to be killing like 20 times as many enemies, so if they actually posed a reasonable threat to me, I think they only do 1 damage, so they don't. But if it was a creature that posed a threat to me, I would only have to kill so many of them to progress. So, again, I can see very much why this is only available to content creators. I was trying to kind of allude to that earlier, that this is purely... as silly as this sounds, this mode I'm pretty sure was made exactly with me in mind. The developer has reached out on multiple occasions for like, yeah, how, you know, how do you think about this? What about these ideas? And I actually really like that level of, you know, feedback and response. And I'm glad to give it. Yep. I think we've actually already looped. So the Void is mastered. The Gentlewood is mastered. So we're going to the Overwood Village. This should be nice and quick. For some reason, it's overrun by carrots. Don't question about it. Don't question it. Don't think about it. Okay, so we have 5 discoverable events. So, Faithful Companion, Stage 5 in Overrun Village, dying one more time, killing enemies in Overrun Village, Stage 8 in Overrun Village, Stage 10. Okay, so these should probably show up extremely fast. A shrouded figure stumbles into view, his tattered garb soaked crimson with blood. The pain he endures etched deeply into his features. The harvest is turned, he gasped, clutching a wounded arm. I tried to defend the village folk, but the root-born horde is relentless. He looks down and chuckles pitifully. Crops once destined for our tables, now seeking to feast upon us. What ridiculous irony. Attempt to comfort the man. His voice trembles as he collapses to his knees, the weight of despair pressing heavily upon him. You rush to assist him, but he waves his hand dismissively. Or dismissingly. Please, he murmurs, a voice barely more than a whisper. Take care of Ember, my loyal fox, trained to safeguard me. He gestures weakly, and from the bushes comes a Pokemon. A russet-furred creature, eyes gleaming with fierce vigilance. The fox pads closer, sniffing the air with a mix of curiosity and caution. But listen well, he continues, his words now a desperate plea. Ember's not a mere beast of the earth. He is a summon bound by magic and spirit to protect his master. To gain Ember's trust, you must weave a bond anew. Use the souls collected from those you have defeated and weave them into my own. With this, I shall perish. But I am not long for this world regardless, he continues with a faltering sigh. Focus, close your eyes, concentrate. This guy is just trusting me for being some dude. Imagine the souls of your enemies coalescing into Ember. The man's eyes grow distant, the shadows of death inching closer. His breathing quickens, but you maintain your focus, closing your eyes more tightly. Guide him well. With one final shuddering breath, he succumbs to his grievous injuries. In that moment, you feel as if in the presence of friends and family. It's a warm feeling that almost makes you forget the cruelty of the world. You slowly open your eyes and are immediately met with a lifeless body before you. Ember readily stands at your side, prepared to defend you at all costs. Ember does not care about their previous master, apparently. Your bond with this arcane ally feels powerful. You feel comforted knowing that you're no longer fighting alone. Hopefully, despite this, you do not succumb to the same fate as his previous master. So we now have a summon, the Fox. Let's see. Is there where I can, like... Okay, we can do it on 5s, if I wanted to. And I think I have enough money for each of those. And then that's kind of my upper limit. I could do more, but I'd rather do sets of 5. Okay, and we have no other trinkets, no other customization options. So we now also have Slippy the Slime if we want to, as a separate character. So if enemy dies while still affected by poison, there's a chance for them to erupt, inflicting half of those poison stacks rounded up on nearby enemies. Ooh, that's cool. Whereas this is whenever you are the summon crit, there's a chance you apply bleed stacks. Neat. Alright, we also have Crooked Cane, which we can finally start investing into. It seems to be going up pretty quick. We also get cloth shoes, which I can somewhat invest into. Okay, now we have 4 more things. Hello. This is what happens when you're on speed mode. The game kind of gets away from you, but that's okay. Okay, let's go with Dangerous Delves. A distraught villager, her eyes wide with a mixture of awe and relief, approaches you after witnessing your prowess against the vegetable monstrosities that plagued the settlement. She tells you of a peculiar cave where the streams run silver, a taint that has gradually crept into the flora. These corrupted plants have been releasing malevolent spores and inciting feral rage in the creatures and woodland beasts, while mysteriously sparing humankind, or at least that's the current theory. With a heavy heart and rising desperation in her voice, she explains that she wishes to uncover the enigma behind this maddening transformation, but venturing into the cave alone poses a peril too great for her. The villager beseeches you to delve into the forbidding depths, defeat the hostile rat folk dwelling within, and help them unveil the sources of the silvered waters and their sinister influence. You agree to clear out the cave of rat folk, your determination evident. To your surprise, the villager presents you with sturdy chainmail and a formidable morning star, their eyes reflecting both gratitude and concern. They explain that these were crafted by the local blacksmith, given as a token of their appreciation and a means to bolster your chances, with a solemn hope that these tools will aid you in your perilous quest. They bid you farewell. Dreams of Power 3. The path you walk is exhausting, and you're not sure why you're still in this place. A small part of you hopes there's an end to the horde, but somehow the enemies seem to only grow more numerous and stronger over time. After managing to clear a small area of rabid squirrels, you find a secluded spot to rest, and the exhaustion pulls you into a deep slumber almost immediately. In your dreams, a familiar, shadowy presence manifests, a figure without form or face, yet intensely powerful. Its voice, ancient and timeless, reverberates in your mind. You're not surprised. Somehow you were expecting this encounter. It imparts wisdom. Raw strength alone won't be enough to stand against the most formidable adversaries. Your fabled fox, ever loyal, must transcend its own bounds. The ethereal guide, its eagerness palpable yet unsettling, insists upon bestowing new powers. There's no consent needed. It is done. It cackles knowingly, before adhering an aura of abrupt seriousness, declaring that your usefulness feeds an insatiable void. This dark force, it explains, has been held at bay by the material wealth you spend in exchange for breaking your limits. But this is no longer sufficient. The void craves more. To truly face what lies ahead, it demands more material sacrifices alongside greater sums of glittering gold. As before, this will not go unrewarded. Such costs paid will elevate your summon and breach the limits of the mundane and awaken untold powers. Items of cloth, hide, bone, and more will all be required, and in great quantity. Abruptly, the dream ends, and you awaken unexpectedly rejuvenated. The foreboding knowledge lingers, offering more questions than answers. You still aren't sure who or what body this voice belongs to. What is the void? Why does it need to be sated? This recurring experience has become frustrating. But it is your hope that will make sense in time. You can now upgrade your summon stat cap and the rate in which they earn experience. It looks like the game pauses while I'm running an event, which is probably for the best. I don't want to go into an event and be stage 50 already. That'd be weird. Gift of Gratitude. Your blade cutting through your foes is almost therapeutic. Their attacks are predictable, allowing you to deal with them all in the exact same way. But then a sudden jolt of noise disrupts your cadence. A window of a nearby house swings open with a loud bang. Instinctively, you jump back, sword at the ready, prepared to vanquish whatever abomination might emerge from the home. "Hey!" yells a voice, and from the darkness of the window, the head of a child peeks out, eyes wide with a mix of fear and admiration. "Thank you for fighting!" His message is as brief as it is unexpected, leaving you momentarily stunned. His fleeting acknowledgement, a simple but genuine expression of gratitude, catches you off guard in a way no enemy ever could. Before you can muster a reply, the boy tosses you a weathered helmet toward your feet, and the window slams shut once more with hurried finality. They must have noticed your distinct lack of headwear, a perilous oversight in your relentless skirmishes. You realize that this is their humble token of thanks, a gesture of protection from those you strive to shield. You hastily don the leathery helmet, feeling its snug embrace encircle your head. With newfound resolve, you grip your blade tighter. A soft smile tugs at your lips, not merely because of this sturdy headgear now adorning you, but from the warm ember of kindness ignited within. In the midst of strife and battle, this small act of appreciation infuses you with a buoyant spirit. There's a lot of text in this game. With a reinvigorated heart, you turn back to the ever-looming threat. The path ahead remains fraught with peril, but the kindness of one courageous child fortifies your resolve. As you charge forward, the helmet resting securely upon your head feels as though you wear a crown bestowed by the very people you're protecting on this fateful day. And then Mysterious Stranger 1. One last event, and then it slows down for a while. In the midst of the pandemonium, a distinct jingling noise pierces through the cacophony. You turn to face the source of the sound. A towering figure slowly saunters over to you, his footsteps resonating with unwavering confidence, his imposing frame casting at you profound shadow over the battlefield. All around you, the once ferocious root-born assailants shrink back in palpable fear. You're rooted to the spot, paralyzed by an instinctual terror. Fight or flight surges through your veins, but something about this man causes your legs to betray you, rendering you immobile. Your arms suddenly leaden, unable to grasp your sword any longer. "Hello, my friend," the man speaks, his voice an uncanny blend of deep bravado and ghostly whispers. Slowly you lift your gaze. He must be at least 8 feet tall, clad entirely in black, his face obscured, his eyes hidden beneath the shadow of a wide-brimmed hat. "I couldn't help but notice that you could use my wares," he says, nodding knowingly. Extending his right arm to the side, a brown leathery band wrapped around his wrist stands in stark contrast to his otherwise umbral attire. "For some coin, this leather armband could be yours. 3,000 is fine." 3,000, a fortune for such a small trinket. Yet a sense of prudence grips you. Haggling seems like it would be a mistake. You accept the deal, or you do not. It's that simple. "Sure." "A fine decision," he proclaims mockingly, extending his colossal hands. As you painstakingly cut out the required amount of currency, you notice that he has no trouble holding all 3,000 coins in both hands. Hands which are easily twice the size of yours, cradling the wealth as if it were a mere handful of pebbles. With the final coin delivered, he nods solemnly and in a gesture that defies understanding, snaps his hand shut. The coins vanish into nothingness. In that instant, the satchel hanging from his waist swells noticeably, resonating with a familiar jingling tune. The man tips his hat in a silent farewell, turning away to meld into the shadows, his cloak billowing like smoke. He saunters off, turning a corner and vanishing from your sight. As the haunting jingles of his mysterious presence fades, feel an invisible tether break. Your limbs regain their natural vigor, no longer weighed down by unseen forces. Yet as if sensing the end of your momentary paralysis, the surrounding space grows teeming with renewed ferocious adversaries. Your heart races as you quickly reclaim your blade from the ground. But you notice something peculiar. You're wearing the leather armband. The ravenous vegetation is closing in, and you have no time to dwell on this enigma. Alright, so now that things have calmed down, I can now upgrade my gear, leather armband, all the way up to maximum. Sick. And now we can just kind of do whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting incremental idle game, just from the perspective of it tries to have more of a story. Obviously, much of the gameplay still ends up being pretty hard on the light side, and I'm not doing too many active plays here. It's more kind of management, spending resources, obviously. And then eventually we're going to have min-maxing with active skills. They get extremely fun later. Though at the moment, actually, because me killing things has so much of a increased value, there's actually a reason for me to just be, like, taking swings at stuff. I guess the one problem is this sword swing costs 20. So it is a little expensive on the mana side of things, but that's probably okay. I'll probably also, like, take down my vitality at this point because I don't think I need it. Oh, wait, auto. I can do auto? Sick. So now we hopefully are going to just auto slash at anything. I don't know what its distance is. Oh, it's every second. I see. So it's not as good as I was hoping it would be. Hopefully you can kind of upgrade that at some point, but we might have to leave that for later. But yeah, so I can just run around right-clicking things, and it should speed this along, because yeah, every single one of these kills is worth like 10, 20 in the long term. I almost kind of wish they... I think the only thing I'd kind of complain about this weird special version is I just wish there was 10 times as many enemies, and they were worth only like twice as much progression value. I guess the one problem is you'd maybe get overwhelmed faster. I don't know. I think the thing is, I love this meter. I love the fact that there is the reward multiplier. I kind of wish there was a bunch of meters. And again, I recognize that this is more work than it's probably worth. But it'd be kind of cool if you could actually say, like, yeah, give me twice as many enemies. Make them more valuable. Give me 10 times as many enemies. Make it silly. But I also recognize that the game will probably start to lag on the later levels. And that I should not get too greedy with these things. Yeah, anything that we can have the materials for should be pretty easy to clear. So we get a magic bracelet, more stat points. Unfortunately, yeah, we need more wood. I'll probably do a trip back to the void. What about stat upgrades? So, yeah, I guess we were investing in strength. Let's see, projectile speed, movement speed. You know what? Let's just rely on my gear and equipment. Giving me some movement speed means I should be able to get to enemies much faster. Oh yeah, this is good stuff. I do wonder what like movement speed is going to be like once you hit the end of the game. Like once you've maxed everything out, because I bet you just zip through, just murking things left and right. I bet that's pretty fun to watch. We'll have to see once we get there, but that's probably going to be later. Let's see. So what else was I going to talk about? There's a couple of objectives and things that hasn't been brought up in the game. So there's actually a bestiary system that you get these little medals based on how many enemies you've killed of like each tier. And so, wow, I guess we've already killed enough squirrels. But so by completing each of these, you get a small bonus. So in this case, it's not health and damage. That's their health and damage. Where's the stat gain? Yeah, that's enemy health, enemy damage. Oh, here it is. Slayer goal reward. Max plus 30. Current 270. So if we complete every single one of these, it would get us 450 maximum health. This would give us max mana. This would give us extra defense. This gives us extra crit chance. Damage multiplier. Mana regeneration, which is very good. Health regeneration. Movement speed, and whatnot. I know there's a way that you can auto hunt for this, but I think I need to unlock that ability. So we'll leave that for later. Because, yeah, that's another good way for me to accrue extra stat points here. Okay, we're up to stage 40, so it looks like we will be able to clear this region without too much trouble. Yeah, the main question is, when am I going to need to, Question. Okay, cool. So autocast will autocast it, but I can still actively cast it regardless. That's nice. But the main question is, when am I actually going to run into things that are going to destroy me? There's a very real possibility I can just kind of cruise through. I know the silver caves usually wreck me. However, because I have so many extra rewards than I normally would have at this stage, maybe it's one of those where it's not a problem. Because, yeah, I think I'm probably over-geared and overpowered for this. I don't remember 93... I think I remember beating this stage somewhere around level 40, so being level 94 probably makes it a little easy. Okay, Wisdom. Max mana, mana regen. I mean, I could start investing in that. We can't do Int or Spirit yet, because those aren't in the game. I guess I'm just going to probably invest in Strength, max those 3 out. Because, yeah, unless I really want to go over stat cap, I might as well just kind of spread myself somewhat thin for a while. It's objectives. Some more stat points, and we now have Overrun Village the Void. Oh. It looks like we are. Yeah, the other thing I could do is, it's not really worth it, but you actually get a big multiplier for going back through older stages that you've already cleared fully. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to go to the Void. Which is good for farming, supposedly. Okay, there we go. I'll start investing in wisdom. And yeah, we've got to do an event in the Rat's Nest to actually get abilities. I just mostly want to clear each of the zones at least once, just in case there's something hiding in here for me to go grab. And then we can get up to like our first or second prestige. Then I'll think about potentially going back down to a lower multiplier just for a little bit, just to see what the game actually feels like. But I've played an extensive amount of this kind of on my own and in the last 2 videos. So it's not like I'm really scuffing my own experience too much. It's just slightly different. And to their credit, these enemies are actually getting to the point where they could hurt me if they surrounded me sufficiently. Okay, it looks like we've cleared this one. So we now get Strix the Owl. And now we can go to the Rat's Nest. Whee! Okay, so we have 3 new events. Lesson in Magic. You've cut down many rat folk. We just got here. But some wield unusual powers, conjuring damaging projectiles from afar. The villager you spoke with earlier explains that many rat folk are adept practitioners of magic. To you, magic has always been a fairy tale, something unreal. Yet their abilities defy any other explanation. Dude, you're in kind of this weird monster hell. You think magic would be pretty normal at this point, just from like a conceptual state. These mages, casting powerful spells from a distance, Leverage their skills to compensate for their diminutive size, enabling them to conquer various territories, including this cave, she explains. Surprisingly, she casually mentions that she can also wield magic, stating that learning the basics is quite easy, the true challenge lies in effectively using it. Your initial disbelief is clear, prompting her to express amazement at your martial prowess, wondering how you've come this far without any magical knowledge. She offers to teach you the basics, confident in your ability to cast spells. Encouraged by her words, you decide to give it a try. After mere hours of practice, you find yourself grasping the fundamentals of magic. It feels deceptively simple. You recall her words, learning it is easy, actually using it is difficult. Handing you a spellbook, the villager assures you that this will guide you further. You only need to read its pages. To your surprise and hers, you successfully cast your first spell with relative ease. Could this newfound ability be connected to the other strange events in your life recently? Regardless, you are awed by your rapid progress. With such a short span, it feels as though you've unlocked a new world of possibilities. You eagerly anticipate testing this newfound power against your foes. Skills have been unlocked. Test it out. Alright, so we have skills. Curious Wisp. 2 projectiles from yourself extend outwards while orbiting. What we want is Dancing Dagger. So that'll bounce between enemies. Ghost Blade. When an enemy dies, 5% chance for them to emit 3 damaging attacks around them. Also Ghost Blade, because that's extremely good. So the other thing to note is that these scale off of different stats. So that's Dex and Strength, or Strength and Agility, Dex and Wisdom. Damage enemies around you in 1-second intervals for 3 seconds. So it's got a cooldown of 12 seconds. So a reduced damage interval and then increased duration. It's not bad. I mean, we only have... Oh, wait, no. Sorry. Glint of Steel. Rapidly attack around yourself 3 times in random directions. Dex and Strength. I see. So the ones I already have aren't listed. So, realistically, we're best going with those. We're not going for much of a, like, mage build here. And, oh god, this got considerably messier. However, it's also going much faster because I'm just exploding the screen with, Ghost Blade, which is very good. We get a brown beret, hunter's garb, some more stat points. The only immediate problem is mana gain. I think what I'm going to do is just limit this to level 3. The higher the level, the higher the cost, and so if we just have this at 1.8, and it's going to be leveling constantly, just for the amount of enemies getting killed here. Okay, so next up, a couple Morning Star upgrades, all the Morning Star upgrades, all the brown beret, chain mail, and hunter's garb. So we still need wood for both of these, so I'm gonna have to go back to the void. But that's okay. Have we already cleared this? Cripes. We are just zipping through because we're nutty strong. Okay, so let's go back to the Gentlewood Void for a hot second. Yeah, now that we have these abilities, specifically Ghost Blade, yeah, because we specifically have, smart casting. Right-click to enable smart casting for the skill. If enabled and the skill is unable to be used due to insufficient mana, the level will be adjusted down to 1. I'm just going to do smart casting on all of them, just because my mana is not going to be the most... Let's see. Yeah, my mana is not in the best spot, but that's okay. We can manage it, and smart casting means we'll still be casting the level 1 version. Okay, so now we can max out cloth shoes, which makes me go faster. We also get mana bracelet, which is more damage, crit chance, and mana regen. And then that requires me to go to the beach. Events, Visions of the Past 2. You notice a familiar mystical glow shimmering from your bag. You recall what happened last time this occurred. So you seek a moment of quiet before reaching down in your bag and touching the shining gems within. As your touch connects the stone with the stones, your mind is suddenly flooded with ethereal visions of times long past. Silhouettes of robed figures with indistinct faces flit through your consciousness, their actions obscured by the haze. Though the glimpses are fleeting and unclear, a profound sense of wisdom infuses your being as you gradually return to the present. You feel smarter and more capable. We now have Int. So Int increases our dot potency, summon movement speed, and attack size, which includes summon skills and trinket effects, which is pretty good, but beyond normal limits. You find a tight passageway hidden behind a waterfall. With a sense of adventure, you decide to investigate and are quickly met with blinding daylight. This is another exit out of the cave. The scene before you is striking, a shimmering coastline, palm trees, crisp air, and cliffsides of green. This is paradise. Off in the distance, you spot an arrangement of stones, candles, and dark-robed figures standing in a circle. Moments later, you hear a voice behind you. Let's see. Do not go over there, warrior. They are cultists of the void. You quickly turn around, your gaze met with a lumbering robed figure, this one wearing red. They explain that the void is an entity that attempts to consume the world once every 10,000 years. The unusual and supernatural often comes with it. Somehow the man knows about your situation, despite seemingly never met you. I know of your gift. We must unite, the 7 chosen warriors, to defeat the void. You are one of them, hence your unnatural strength and ability to never truly die. We haven't died yet. As you begin to ask what they're talking about, you have a sudden realization you actually know what they're referring to. Somehow you already understand, as if you possess knowledge that is not your own. The road ahead is very difficult. I can help you ascend. I can help you go stronger, but at a cost. Please seek me out when you're ready. So we now have Act 4, and we have the Ascension button. So we can just... I think we might ascend like a gazillion times here, which... I know this is like very much not how this game's supposed to be. I'm effectively going at 100 times speed. So sure, I've only been playing 40 minutes, but instead I've been playing... what? 4,000 minutes? And getting loot based on that. Okay, we need to actually get out of here. And by that, we want to go to the Peridot Coast. Yeah, so... I love the streamer mode. It is not exactly what I would call representative of this game. I am far too strong. Let's actually take this reward multiplier back down to basic. So now I'm still killing a decent amount of enemies. The thing is, I'm level 127, so this might actually be... I might be able to clear more of this. But because I actually have to kill all of these enemies, more of them get a chance at actually hitting me with a pot shot. Normally I'm just able to zip through so much of the game too fast for anything to be able to touch me. Or maybe it got a lot easier, I have no idea. The last time I was here, I remember it being tricky. And having to ascend a couple of times to actually be able to fully... ascend a couple of times to be able to fully clear it without too much trouble. X marks the spot, must have been money or something else there. Seems like I'm still kind of rolling them, probably because I've maxed out my gear and equipment. I don't remember having everything as maxed out as I currently do, and so that probably is making a noticeable difference. Well, new events. X marks the spot. 2. Oh. You come across a small, weathered mound of dirt and sand and dirt with a few scattered stones arranged in the shape of a crude X. There's something about this place that tugs at your instincts. Feels as though something has been buried here, yet the arrangement is almost too deliberate. It's as if whoever laid it to rest didn't want it to remain hidden forever. Just hidden well enough. Start digging. Your curiosity is overwhelming. You must know if there's something actually buried here. You kneel down and begin to claw the mound apart, scooping sand and dirt to the side. To your fortune, whatever was buried here was not buried very deep. In a matter of minutes, you stumble upon the treasure. You can now make gauntlets. Unfortunately, we're going to need a lot more of these before I can actually get too far. Yeah, they're still not hurting me, so I don't know if this got rebalanced or if it's just having maxed out gear at this point is enough. Because, so like, at this point we are back down to vanilla balance for the game, and it's still comparatively easy. We're definitely taking longer to cut through them, which is a good feeling. Yeah, this is functionally where I left off at the end of the last video, so I figured it would be easy to catch up to this stage. The main question is this massive amount of ascension materials that might break some things. I don't know what happens when we have too many ascension points. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I just want to see if I can get a little further. I mean, supposedly there might be another X marks the spot. The only immediate problem is this character is not killy enough that we can actually get... They're not currently killy enough that they can move. Right now, we have a sufficient number of enemies coming at us from all angles and it means that we're not going to run around. I do appreciate that you can hide the UI. That's nice. There's a lot of UI. You can hide like everything too. And we can also see what our current like DPS is and like overkill damage if we wanted to. Also reset the DPS log. Yeah, so what is the best? Cursor Cyclone actually is doing very well. Better than Ghostblade, shockingly. That's only firing like once a second, but it's still extremely good. Let's see. So discoverable events. What else do we have? So die once, killing enemies in the rat's nest. Huh. Oh, by chance. Click another X on the beach. Stage 30 in Peridot Coast. Stage 20 in Peridot Coast. I don't think... Oh, there's the other X. You come across a small weathered mound of sand and dirt with a few scattered stones arranged in the shape of a crude X. Something about the place that... Okay, it's the same thing. So we now have Greaves. Okay, and we can afford it. And this is going to render us functionally immortal, probably. Okay, so I will say I think regular speed is a little too slow for me. Let's try 10. Okay. Yeah, it seems like 10's a little faster, where each enemy might count as 10 enemies rather than 100. And maybe it was counting as 100 earlier, but it seems like they're still able to kind of surround me and potentially threaten me. But we're not spending as much time just sitting around. So I think the 10 times multiplier is good, at least for the moment. Even if it doesn't feel like I'm not feeling particularly pressed here, and I think that's the one balance question with the multiplier. Is that you can't just make the enemies 10 times more lethal with a 10 times multiplier. I'd say 10 times more numerous. And maybe that's it. You could just have it so every enemy, when they attack 10 times in short succession as though they are 10 units. Maybe, I don't know. So much of this is extra balance that does not need to be in the game. This is a mode that was made for me. I shouldn't critique it too hard. I do appreciate that it is there, as I've been able to see so much more of this game than I was able to previously. And from a content creation perspective, like, I actually got places. So Blessings 1, Adventurer. Without warning, a familiar, warm, radiant light envelops you, soft and comforting. The world around you stills as if time itself has paused to hold its breath. The crashing waves fall silent, the breeze halts midair, and even your own heartbeat seems distant, as if it waits in reverence. The light pulses gently, and though no voice speaks, you feel the presence of something greater, a higher calling, watching over you. For a few fleeting moments, you stand in the presence of this light, weightless and serene, as if an unseen force fills you with a sense of peace and strength. Then as quickly as it appeared, the light fades, dissolving into the air around you. The sound of the world returns, the crash of waves, the whisper of wind, but everything feels different. You feel different, stronger, as if something deep within you is awakened. A quiet blessing now part of your being. Permanent stat boost, base defense, multiplier 0.2x. Takes effect after ascending again. So it's probably a event for getting up to stage 20 on this character that applies to all other characters. Makes sense. They're still not threatening me too much. So what else do we do? I guess I can take a look at my skills again. Oh. Interesting. So the problem with smart mode is it takes everything back down to level 1 and doesn't keep it there. That's a little unfortunate. I wish it would go back up to whatever the setting was prior. Okay, so we have Gauntlets and Hunter's Claws, which is damage, defense, and summon damage as well, but we don't have enough resources for it. I guess I should probably turn off smart mode for these. Turns out, not as much as I was hoping it would be. What is the, can I check DPS mana per second log? So Dancing Dagger and Glint of Steel are definitely costing me the most. I mean, go figure that mana cost is actually insane. I was not expecting it would be so high. Well, I suppose never mind then. Get some more stat points. Keep leveling these up. Another event. Temple Raider. Structure looms in the distance. You've been walking the coastline for what feels like an eternity, with the endless expanse of sand and sea stretching before and behind you. The rhythmic crash of waves against the shore has become a monotonous lull, almost hypnotic, and your legs grow heavy with the burden of distance traveled. But then something catches your eye, a distant silhouette against the endless horizon. You squint, trying to make out the shape through the mist that hovers like a veil over the water. Keep walking. As you draw nearer, the shape sharpens, revealing itself to be more than a jagged rock or cliffside. It is a structure, aged and forgotten by time. A temple half swallowed by the restless ocean, its stone walls weathered and broken, though still standing in defiance against the waves that lap hungrily at its base. The temple's lower levels are submerged, dark and murky beneath the surface of the sea, but above the waterline, the crumbling arches and spires still reach for the sky, eroded by centuries of salt and wind. A single stretch of beach, narrow and seemingly untouched by the shifting tides, reaches out from where you stand, like a natural causeway beckoning you to the temple's entrance. Approach the temple. The air grows heavy with an unspoken promise of mystery and discovery. Something pulls you towards it. A feeling as if this place has been waiting for someone. Perhaps you for a long time. You set off down the strip of sand, each step crunching softly beneath your boots, the temple looming larger and more ominous with every passing moment. Waves crash gently to either side, spraying you with a cool mist. But you're focused now, your heart quickening. Whatever secrets the temple holds, you're determined to uncover them. I'm actually a little surprised I haven't got crushed by this point, but my defense stat must be just obscenely high. Well, we have some options. Actually, none of these affect my defense, so I have no idea. Let's max my wisdom, because currently cooldown reduction isn't doing me any favors. But boosting my mana, or boosting my wisdom wouldn't be a bad move. We want the damage. Yeah, projectile speed. I guess this does have attack size. Oh. Because we don't need the movement speed anymore. Wait, I died? I did die! Huzzah! I was waiting for that to happen. Life after death. You recall dying several times, yet you're still alive. You remember dying several times, each moment of death seared vividly into your memory. Each death felt final, yet here you stand alive and whole. Your mind screams that you've defied fate, but the eerie reality leaves you trembling, searching for answers in a world that suddenly feels far more sinister and inexplicable. Why are you still here? How are you still here? Are you still here? Panic. Panic quickens as the questions layer on top of each other. Are you chosen for a higher calling? Does this mean you're immortal? Wait. Is it this way for everyone, for everything? Is this normal? The thought leaves you anxious. What if the next time you die, you don't come back? Is there a certain number of times you're allowed to die? What if this is your last life? Stranger so, you don't quite look the same, but you still have your memories. Try to relax. The thoughts become too much. There's too many possibilities. There's too many questions. This all makes no sense. As your eyes dart around, looking for anything at all to help make sense of things, you notice something peculiar. For a brief moment, you're distracted. Your curiosity takes over. Something is poking out of the bushes. With a deep breath, you attempt to compose yourself and investigate. As you approach, you realize that it's a pair of boots. How very odd. They look pretty unused as well. You reckon you could be more nimble with these. Without hesitation, you grab them. The feel of its leather grounds you in reality. It's the little things, huh? Lingering on these thoughts will drive you insane. All you can do is put one foot in front of the other and see where all of this takes you. We now get the leather boots that we've should have gotten like ages ago, but hey, whatever, who cares? The balance of this game was not meant to be, I don't know if I want to say it wasn't meant to be, but there was no chance of keeping it stable. So what was the highest level? 39 was where I died previously. So let's see where we end up as well. Oh, let's see. Well, I can keep investing in various things. I'd like to max out the gauntlets, but pricey. And yeah, also looking into, ooh, passive skill gain experience. So actually leveling up the hunting bow seems like it would actually be really good. Okay, we're on 39 and I'm not dying. I think what happens is after a certain point we run into enemies that can that can do more damage than my defense. Yeah. More damage than my defense can tank, and my regen can heal me back up again. And that's when I start getting cooked, and there's like no way around that. And my gear and equipment is pretty much the only way to ward things off. But hey, that's fine. Works for me. Do we want to go to a different direction? We're really close to getting up to stage 50 on this one, but I'm also like a level 128 and I haven't, oh, are we just on stage 40? Right, because I hit a checkpoint, it just allowed me to get up to stage 40. That's useful. So we might actually be able to get this up to stage 50 then. Because yeah, the enemies that were surrounding me, I think, oh, maybe that's part of it, because every enemy is worth 10 times as much. The enemies that were killing me haven't spawned in yet, and so it's letting me get a little bit ahead. At least that's the theory. I could be wrong. We're probably going to get munched fairly soon here. Or not. I mean, once again, if I can clear the beach, that's awesome. I think staying at 10 times is kind of perfect for me, because that means we're not cycling quite as hard while we are still technically in mortal peril. Well, we got up to stage 48. But yeah, I'm about to go down. If I could get up to stage 49, that'd be nice. I think we did. Okay, so this is going to kick me back to, I think, stage 40, but I think we get a multiplier to make it go a little faster. Stage 41, reward multiplier 6 times while catching up. So this effectively means we get more resources. Yeah. So it's vaguely based on how many stages beyond the 10 level we were at which point we get a boost. And so I can level up. Let's get the rest of those boots. It also means that every enemy is worth more progress as well. So it makes things zippy. It feels good. This has a lot of nice quality of life. So even without the 10 times multiplier, this is still much faster than pretty much any other idle incremental game I think I've played in a while. We're still getting killed here, but that's fine. Let's probably actually work on my Hunter Claws, because I think that's going to give us more of a boost. The bow is good for skill level, but we are not using our max level at all. Ghost Blade's up to like 19. I guess I could probably boost these up to at least level 2. Maybe even level 3. Looks like it's fine. I wonder if skill level is reducing the mana cost. It is. So the higher the skill level... Oh. The higher the skill level in comparison to... Like... If my skill level is 8, but I'm at 4, it's going to cost less mana. I think that's the case. So we've cleared stage 49. It seems doable. It's just going to take a little bit. Because the problem is if I don't clear stage 50, I'm going to have to redo this entire stage from the start the next time. And that's sounds annoying to me. Obviously I could just throw on 100 times multiplier and just like zip through it, but we are making progress just hanging out here, so it's not that bad. Because that 6 times reward multiplier is very good. Let's see. And yeah, maybe we ditch this. Let's go back to agility. Because that gets me crit and evasion and... Oh, High stage cleared 50. I think we got it. Just barely, right at the end. Is there no... Yeah, stage cleared 50 out of 50. Okay. Ah, there's Peridot Coast Void. And we can max that out. So now we go right back to the beginning and everything will get faster. Well, let's go to Peridot Coast Void and probably die. Damn, they're tanky. Yeah, so at this point we're hitting the point where I need to ascend just to be able to get anywhere, and that's okay. Let's ascend. Ascend. Okay. Bestiary unlock. Costs a point. I think we have it. So most of these are locked. We can only go up. But I can get passive skill gain experience gain, passive skill gain. Cool. I think the rest of this costs, yeah, T2 points. We don't have many of those. But I have an insane amount of T1 points that I can spend on everything. So what does this give me? Starting skill damage multiplier. Extra health regen, and keep 20% of coins on Ascension. Pretty good. Starting stat points +5. Autocast left mouse button skill chance +7%. Skill is used on nearest target if possible. Skills in this way cost no mana. Interesting. Extra damage. So we can also get starting skill damage +50. I only have 9 of these points, so I have to be a little bit more selective. Okay, so in that case, I'm going to get the experience gain, the damage, and the health regen. We're going to have to wait for the other stuff. But it's still a big bonus. I don't know what to do with these extra skill points. Okay, cool. So I can... Oh, you can only be traded down. You cannot trade up, and a trade cannot be undone. Okay, so that's not that helpful. And select a character. Now we have the red-robed guy. So we still have 3 unique events that we have not completed with this guy, but let's do the cultist because he's got more that we haven't done yet, and he's got some interesting abilities. So after a brief delay, attack an area cursor position, its damage further multiplied by 10% of your vitality, also inflicting damage to yourself. Should be good. Phantom Fullisade. 6 projectiles towards random enemies at any distance, ignoring all the enemies in path for 6 seconds. And then Blood Curse. Instantly kill a random enemy, inflicting damage upon nearby enemies. That should be fine. Okay, and start. So things that have carried over, well, this is going to go insanely fast. Things that have carried over are... I think my skills are still there. Okay, wisdom is now maxed. I guess let's do vitality next, since this character maybe scales off of them. Actually, we should probably do, rather than vitality, let's do dexterity, because that's cooldown reduction. Let's see. Bestiary lock is what I'm going to turn on. Okay, so... everything is dying instantly, and it is very funny to me. So stage lock locks you in place so you don't progress further. Bestiary lock means you will keep grinding the same stage until you've maxed out whatever bestiary entry for that region you haven't finished yet. So we're going to stay on stage 34 until we've finished off every single creature here that we wouldn't have a bestiary for, and we keep going. It's very good for grinding those extra bonus stats, and also a gazillion resources, even if we don't really need any of them. Okay, oh yeah, that's the problem. Ghostblade decided to go up to level... Let's just have all of these on smart mode for the time being. We don't need the extra damage. Okay, let's probably invest in damage next. Already level 96. That's super goofy. It's not like the extra orbs do anything for me, right? Yeah, so I kept all unlocks, all events, all equipment and passive, equipment upgrades, passive skill mastery, summon levels, stat cap increases, bestiary medals, and high stage completion. So I don't actually know why I'm leveling so freakishly fast here. I guess maybe it's just because everything is multiplied by like an absurd degree. If we want to go back to the bestiary, if you notice, we've cleared out most things. We're going to have to do one more loop just because we didn't actually have the bestiary lock on early. And I think I'm just going to leave that bestiary lock on permanently, as it's extremely good. Let's see, what next? Int, probably? I knew we scale slightly off of our vitality, but still. My character is just confused. Where are they? Come back, creatures. Infinite sword death aura just says no. Let's see. So 2 discoverable events in the area. So stage 20 in Peridot Coast and kill enemies in the Rat's Nest. So I think what I'm going to do is probably just do a couple of quick loops here. Finish off the bestiary. Actually, it looks like it's completely donezo. Yep, we're completely done with this area. Which is why I'm just zooming through the stages real fast. So in that case, let's go to the Overrun Coast. And good, bestiary lock is still on. They are spawning so much faster now. It felt like the first time I was going through this, it was glacial. Maybe the reward multiplier also affects spawn rates. I'm not sure. Because boy, if these spawn rates were the norm, this would have been probably much easier. Or maybe much faster. Okay. Yeah, so as soon as we hit stage 40 on this, we can say for sure that we've 100'd it. Oh good, it says a percentage up here. And then we can go in and do the same thing the Rat Warrens. So this is just going to give me a massive amount of stats. Like, what other things did I not list earlier? So max health multiplier, critical damage, movement speed, more health regen, mana regen. Yeah. If we look at this one, we get summon critical chance, summon damage, just flat damage, max mana, cooldown reduction, more defense, summon movement speed, health regen, max health, damage multiplier. Yeah. Speaking of summons, so I've got Ember the Fox, which I've been using. Slime wouldn't be bad. The main question is poison. I don't have a whole lot of poison abilities. Enemies always spawn in as aggressive. Sure, let's go with Strix the Owl instead. I mean, I can afford all of them. There we go. There's also a homunculus and a wolf. I know there's... Oh, yeah. Upgrade summons. Oh, I can also increase its experience gain per second? Oh, no. Okay, then we can also boost its power cap a bunch. Oh, that's every summon. That's extremely good. Probably should have spent my coins previously before I reset on the last one, but I actually don't know if it's going to matter. Let's see. I don't know if I have enough money to boost all of these, but that's okay. We don't need them right now. And we've definitely looped at this point. Rat's Nest. And yeah, as I get stronger, this is going to be so much faster. I love the loot log just freaking out. It's just become functionally worthless to me. But it's still funny. Mysterious Stranger 2. In the stifling darkness of the cave, the echo of jingling coins reverberates off walls, growing louder as it approaches. Emerging from the inky shadows, a figure cloaked in darkness approaches with an almost ghostly grace. His towering and formidable presence is unmistakable. This is a man you've encountered before. As he moves closer, the silhouette of lifeless body slung over his shoulder becomes clear. With a dismissive motion, he drops the corpse at your feet and points a bony finger down towards it. This soul met its end under mysterious This soul met its end under mysterious circumstances, he says, a devilish grin spreading across his face. However, there's something upon him that you might find quite useful. Your eyes drift to the fallen figure, noting the tattered remains of armor that have seen better days. Among the worn gear, a grimy metal helm catches your eye. Let us discuss payments. The shadowy figure continues, lowering his arm to his side. I'm asking for 80,000 coins. I know that you've been quite fortunate in my absence. Amassing a significant amount of coin. This you can afford. Sure. With a heavy heart, you reach into your satchel and retrieve the required payment. But as your fingers close around the bag of gold, it suddenly feels lighter. No need, the figure declares, an eerie smile creeping across his face. The transaction is complete. He tips his hat, turns, and blends seamlessly back into the cavernous darkness, sound of jingling gradually fading into the darkness. Dropping your gaze back to the ground, you find the corpse has vanished without a trace. All that remains is the metal helm. Kneeling beside it, you brush away the grime and dirt. Though morbid, you acknowledge that this helm will be an invaluable asset in your quest, a grim yet essential artifact. Mercenary helmet. That I actually do not have enough materials to max out, but that's fine. We'll get there. I swear those were more expensive previously. Oh, maybe this one was more expensive. Through the haze of battle, an eerie calm settles in. A wintry breeze bellows from the north. Something is wrong. You feel like someone or something is watching you. Let's cut the theatrics this time. A deep voice prompts you to turn around. Uncomfortably close he stands, the tall figure in black, the mysterious stranger. With a heavy annoyed sigh, the man places one hand on his hip. We're acquainted, you and I. There's no need to act so surprised. Besides, I always bring you gifts, don't I? For a price, of course. He smirks, extending his arms towards you, his right hand holding a book, left hand face up, palm open expectantly. The book will teach you the power to harness storms. This is quite difficult to come by, so I'm asking 7 million this time. Okay, we gotta postpone that for... There we go. Almost no time. Your heart sinks, but you think you can actually afford such an amazing amount of money. You close your eyes, trying to come to peace with letting go of this mountain of gold. Excuse me, we're rich. After a pause, you hesitantly open your eyes and agree, but the man before you is gone. The answer was given well before it was spoken. In your hand lay the book, but somehow you feel as if you didn't need to open it. You already are aware of the contents. Lightning bolt and final spark. So now we actually are getting some other spells. I'm gonna get rid of, well, actually I don't know what I'm gonna get rid of. Let's take a look at our DPS meter. So Ghostblade is obviously doing absurdly well. Great Divider, pretty much everything else is worthless. Okay, so skills. Great Divider, so we can do Final Spark. Enemy dies, chance for them to emit a damaging spark. Attack a random enemy, inflicting damage upon them and enemies near them. So scales off of Int and Strength. Sure. That's gaining so many levels. Unsurprisingly. Oh, there we go. Let's see, what's the other one? So, let's just reset this. Glint of Steel is worthless. Right, because it's attacking around me. We don't need that. Attack a random enemy. Should be good. Oh, random nearby enemy. Maybe I'll try it again. I think it just has a longer cooldown. Yeah, the thing is, stuff like Final Spark, I don't know why Smart is flashing, and I don't like that. I'll put each of these up to level 2. Oh, it's flashing just because the spell is casting so much. Whereas that one just keeps Smart up constantly. Okay, so we've 100%... No, we haven't actually hunted this area. What's the one I'm missing? Oh. Is it the shadow versions? I don't know. I don't know why it's saying 96%. Okay, let's try to go to the Rat's Nest Void. Maybe it's here. Other benefit this gives me, like, all of the resources I could possibly want from this region. Okay, clear stage 10 in Rat's Nest Void. We get Tumble the Hedgehog. I guess we're looping. I don't know what I'm missing in the bestiary. It seems like everything is fine. So this might actually just be like a bug of some variety. Let's see, I'm already level 137. That's silly. All right, let's go to the Peridot Coast and let it explode. Because we want to get up to level 20. Mysterious Stranger 4. We got to go to the temple, but that's fine. Why does my character have a white robe? It's not like I've died yet. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I like these on-kill abilities. They are kind of nutty broken, but they're very effective. Oh, you know, it's also very effective. This game is distracting me. Let's max out the bow if I can. Actually, I think I can max out all of them. Okay, not this one. We'll have to go to the Peridot Coast Void, maybe, to get what I'm looking for. But yeah, the video has gone on for a while. And honestly, I feel so much better. I think times 10 is good. Times 100 is just a little too much. Just in terms of, like, speed and generosity and reducing challenge. You know, that enemies that would normally threaten me, I was able to just, like, outgear them to the point where they weren't a problem anymore. And also I was just killing too many by sheer numerical volume so that not enough enemies were spawning to be able to threaten me. Whereas at this point, we're killing enemies just before any of them can spawn or do anything, so that makes it a little faster. Well, I guess that's maxed out. And yeah, it's nice to be able to max out the bestiary as well. Because yeah, what did we get from this one? More defense, more damage, more crit chance, cooldown reduction, max mana, health regen, movement speed. More mana regen, crit chance, damage multiplier. Yeah, evasion, cooldown reduction, max health. What is my max health? 15,000 without a single point in vitality, I think. Is crazy good. Poison chance. Only caps out at 3%, but that's still potentially useful later on. And yeah, if we can max out all of these things. I'm curious where the T234... Yeah, we never encountered some of these. Maybe they show up in the, yeah, stages 10. I don't know. I don't know how we encounter more of them. Maybe they just weren't showing up because we were killing too fast once again. And then there's the temple, but I haven't gotten to that. I probably won't in this video. I think I might pick this back up again at some point. I'm not sure when. Maybe I'll boost the multiplier back up to, like, I don't know, we could try like 50%. Let's try 50%. Let's see where that lands us. Because right now we're just kind of farming for resources, mostly for bestiary rewards. And it seems like killing more enemies hopefully is going to speed that up. Yeah, considerably. Because it is counting each one of the kills on these guys as 50. Obviously it might give me a ton of ascension points, but who cares. Anywho, I might as well mention that Nomad Survival, Nomad Idol, sorry, got sent back a couple of years, is going to be available on Steam on April 4th. I don't know exactly when. It says 1 day and 18 hours. So it's going to be about noon Eastern time, if you do want to pick it up and play it yourselves. It's genuinely one of the better idle games I've played in a while. A lot of things to manage, a lot of build variety. The fact that you have different skills you can play around with, the different stats, the ascension tree, even if you can max it out pretty quick. And so on and so forth. Yeah, what's the cultist blessing get us? The warning, a warm... Okay, so it's the same thing. Base mana regen is up. Nice. And I like the variety of moves and abilities. I think I'm very much of the opinion of the when an enemy dies, 5% chance of them doing an attack nearby. That's just so good. Infinite cascading death cannot be beaten, especially in a game of this caliber. Anyway, ooh, and the chance goes up for every int. Or dex. So I guess it's functionally kind of the same deal. This gives more amounts. I don't know. Things to play around with. Where are my stats at anyway? What have I put them into? I've been putting them into int, and I think that's fine. Anywho, gosh, what was I going to say? Not too much. So, I guess if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like. It helps more than you know. And if you want to see more rad new games every single day, then hit subscribe, because I got tons to check out and show. Well, yeah, check out and show off. I'm stumbling over myself. Too many enemies on screen. But I guess with all that said, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.